Hey guys, I just finished watching Bite, and I'm going to do this spoiler free. If you already know me, you know that I'm going to pretty much like it because I like gory stuff. And this was really gory, really disgusting, drippy, gooey, just nasty. Especially if you've already seen this movie, there was a particular kiss that was just, it was just, I can't describe it. You just have to watch it and then you'll understand. And I'm not talking about the first one. There was a first kiss that was kind of mildly disgusting, and then there was a second kiss that was just, ugh. The movie started out kind of found footagey, but I was very glad when they switched over to just regular film because I really didn't want to see this whole thing as a found footage movie. I'm kind of burnt out on found footage, and I'm sure everyone else is burnt out on found footage as well. I noticed there was a Fangoria magazine on the desk, and it made me wonder whether this was sponsored by Fangoria or whether there was some type of tie-in with Fangoria. I don't know if you've been reading it as long as I've been reading it, which is over 20 years. It seems like recently they just give good reviews to everything. I mean, every single thing. If it's in Fangoria, they'll tell you it's awesome even when it's completely shitty. But, I mean, this movie wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a good movie, but it was an entertaining movie. A couple gripes that I had with it were, again, the sound design. I feel like they're no longer hiring sound engineers for these movies. Whenever there was a scene with dialogue, there was too much background noise happening, and it wasn't natural background noise like birds chirping or, you know, something that would have blended. It was just this loud background noise as if something is being very poorly recorded. The audio is being very poorly recorded. That was very irritating. They also used that sepia filter that I hate. Well, maybe it wasn't sepia this time, it was kind of greenish, and I know the intent was to make the movie look sickly, but I feel like it's not necessary. I don't know whether I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The only movie that I've ever seen in which that filter worked was Saw. In Saw, however James Wan did it, I think it was James Wan and Leigh Whannell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was James Wan and Leigh Whannell. However they did that, they made it work. Since then, so many people have tried to copy that filtered look, and there's something that they're doing wrong. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not a filmmaker. Maybe somebody in the comments can describe or explain why it works so well in Saw, but it looks horrible in all these movies that Chiller keeps playing. There was a scene where she called a clinic because, as you see in the preview, she has that pussy thing on her leg. The, what was it called? The after hours emergency clinic line that she called told her to just put some over-the-counter ointment on it and it'd be okay. Now, in reality, if you called a clinic and said that you had something with white pus coming out of it, they would still tell you to come in because MRSA cysts have white pus coming out of them and they are highly contagious. So it's really, really doubtful that a doctor would tell you not to come in and have whatever white pus that's coming out of you be identified. But that, you know, that's kind of a nitpicky thing on my part. So I'll just let that go. To wrap this up, I will say that I enjoyed this movie. I would class it as a B movie because it really wasn't good, but it was very entertaining. The acting was bad, except for the main character that played we'll call her the afflicted person. She did well. Everyone else around her, it's like they just hired people that they knew, like their uncle and the mailman, people like that. The acting was terrible. The practical effects were pretty good, except for one thing, the bald cap application. That always gets me when people don't do that right, because the point of it is it shouldn't look like a bald cap application. A person should just literally look bald. But because I kept looking at it and seeing a bald cap application, it fails. But other than that, they did very well making the apartment look moist, gooey, pussy, nasty. Yeah, they did a good job with that. That was pretty. You could almost smell it. It was so bad. They did a really good job with that. The creature design, it was very difficult to tell whether she was supposed to be a bug or a fish. At first I thought she was turning into a fish because she was in the water, but then I think about how mosquitoes breed, and I think they breed in the water, in still water. So then, that came together for me. That was probably more of a error on my part of thinking of what she was than what they were going for. So forget what I just said, the last two things that I said. Anyways, I liked it, and I know you're probably wondering, why did I not put this with The Fly? Because that seems like it would be, a natural double feature, Bite and The Fly. I didn't do that because I thought that would just be too obvious, too expected. Plus, I think The Fly would go better with Splice. That was the name of that movie. I'm probably one of the few people that actually liked Splice. I think more so because I went into it viewing it more as a science fiction movie than a strictly horror movie, but that is another story for another time.